Hello, my name is Nate Bright, and I'm one of the distinguished seniors for the year 2024. And I'm excited today to be having a roundtable discussion with the other distinguished seniors. And so if we'll just go around, would you each be willing to introduce yourselves?
Hi, everyone. My name is Olivia Russell. I am getting my Bachelor's of Science in Materials Joining Engineering, and I am from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania.
And I'm Kaylee Kimnall. I'm from Sacramento, California, and I'm studying mechanical engineering.
My name is Aaliyah Pittman, and I am studying aircraft maintenance and management.
My name is Juan Esteban Aguirre, and I am from Bogota, Colombia, and my major is aviation management with professional flight.
Perfect. Thanks for introducing yourselves. I'm studying mechanical engineering, and I'm from Michigan. So today we get to just ask each other some questions and have a conversation. So I'll get started. In what ways did your relationship with your professors impact you during your time at LeTourneau?
It has made such a difference in my time here, knowing that the professors actually care about us. And, so many make a point to say, hey, I'm praying for you for this, or they just genuinely care. And I think that plays such a huge role and has definitely improve the experience a lot.
Yeah, I've had experiences with professors that say like, hey, my office is always open for you guys to come and just like tell us about your life. And I've done that multiple times where I've gotten to go to their office. I've gone through some personal stuff and like I've told them and they've advised me, but they've also listened. So that's really nice.
What sort of impact has your time at LeTourneau had on your spiritual life?
I have a story of like, I remember my first flight here at LeTourneau, my first flight ever, like piloting a plane. I went up, I was really scared. I didn't know like what flying was, like how you flew, like what went behind flying an airplane. And I remember as soon as we got up, like my instructor said, and now we can admire God's beauty in creation. And I was like, whoa. And I will never forget that. Like that was incredible. And I feel LeTourneau does a really good job connecting your work with our mission, which is to like share the gospel.
Spring break mission trips have been really impactful. This year I got to go to St. Louis Pontesi, but I also got to go last year. And last year was like really, really huge in my life. I had been kind of just sort of like going along with my faith. And I accepted Jesus into my heart when I was really young, but I'd never been baptized. It never felt like the right time. And I had kind of been putting it off and saying no to God. And I was really convicted in Mexico, and it ended up leading to my baptism last summer. And that was just huge. And it was like, it wasn't at LeTourneau campus, but it was with LeTourneau people. And, just kind of seeing the effect of that in my life has been really, really huge.
Amidst the lively discussions that everyone gets to have in the dorm, you encourage each other in Christ. And the idea of living your entire life for Jesus is something that is shared, and I've been encouraged in while I've been here at LeTourneau.
So the next question is, were you able to serve in any student leadership positions during your time here? If so, what was that experience like, and how did it impact you?
For the past 3 years, I've been a peer advisor. In the past 2 years, including this year, I've been a lead peer advisor. And that's very much when students come in, they're just grouped with their major and they get an upperclassman to help them. And that's just such a blessing, just again, being one of those like first faces. And I don't need to be the one to tell them that no one calls the corner cafe, and everyone calls it Saga. But that I have that opportunity and I'm able to just help freshmen adapt to school, make those relationships that I still have kept years later. Just getting to do that has been something I've been so blessed with. And then as a lead, getting to work with other PAs and help them with that and just feel a part of this PA community and just being able to do so much with that. I've been so grateful, and it's something I just think about and how it's like kind of bled into other forms of leadership.
So I've served in a few different leadership positions at LeTourneau. I got to serve for 2 years as a PA with Olivia, which was super, super awesome. I loved that. The same thing, like you get to meet the freshmen right away, and that's such a good experience. But then growing their relationship throughout the year is really cool. Seeing, some people, they struggle the first year. It's a big transition, but just encouraging them through that, and remembering what it was like for you, and just being like, hey, it's going to get better. You're going to do okay. And look at all these exciting things. And it'd make me excited, right? They'd be like, I'm in this class and I'm frustrated. And what is this worth it? And I'd be like, hey, I'm taking this other class right now and it is so fun. Look forward to this. And it remind me of how excited and how far I've come. And that was a huge blessing in my life to have that kind of relationship with them and kind of remind me of all of the wonderful things about LeTourneau.
LeTourneau has many student organizations, clubs, and activities. Was there any specific experience in a student organization that was meaningful to you, and why?
I think one experience with a student organization that was really meaningful for me has to do with the pro-life club here on campus. I got involved in that when I was I started attending when I was a freshman and then joined club leadership when I was a sophomore. And when I was a junior, I was the treasurer, which kind of doubled as the fundraiser coordinator. And we decided as a club, we'd love to try to start a pregnant and parenting scholarship. And this is something that LeTourneau hadn't had before. But the concept of it is, as a club, we believe in the importance of life. But we're not, it's a positive emphasis in that it's not that we're just against something like abortion, but rather we're for the flourishing of all mothers and their children and fathers as well. And so we knew that there were some students on campus that were parenting or pregnant and trying to balance that and the rigorous LeTourneau academics. And so we said, let's start a scholarship to help with that. And our first year, I think we raised a little over $4,000, which was more than we thought it was going, and the Lord blessed. And this year we are able to raise, I think we raised a little over $7,000 this year. So with some leftovers, we'll hopefully be able to give out 4 scholarships this year. So that was just a huge, just a blessing for me to be able to be part of that. I'm working with an amazing team there at the Pro-Life Club and make a difference on our campus. So that was a highlight of my time here at LeTourneau.
For me, I never was really part of any specific club or anything like that. I was a part of Mu Kappa for my freshman year, and I transitioned from my high school youth group, which was all MKs, so that's what I knew. And they were really helpful for making that transition a lot more smooth. But I guess another club that I was a part of was the swing dance club, which is kind of different from what we're talking about, but it's a club. But it's really cool to meet different people and just learn a new skill that might, come in handy later.
That's so cool. Yeah. I think probably the most meaningful thing would be in SWE, like you talked about, Olivia, Society of Women Engineers. I got to serve on the club leadership last year, and we started for the first time a Women in Engineering Day. It's happening again soon this year because we're making an annual thing. We heard about I think Women in Aviation Day, they do that. It's basically us college students kind of encouraging high school students or younger to kind of come and see what it would look like to be a woman, in aviation, or then for us for engineering. And so that was really cool. The first year we did it was really, really tiny. We had a few students, and so it was students from literally age 10 or 11 to high school seniors. And we basically came up with projects from each engineering major, a civil, mechanical, electrical, kind of little projects that they could work on and build. And we kind of walked them through it, kind of talked to them hey, what, do you like this? Did you like this? And kind of just introduce them to the idea of engineering and be like, hey, this might be something that you might be interested in, which was really, really cool because I had my parents kind of influence in my life for that, but I didn't have much outside influence. Hey, you can go into STEM. This is what it would look like, and kind of encouraging. And so it was really neat to pour into their lives and be hopefully one day some of them will, go into STEM or into engineering or whatever. So I really enjoyed that.
Our last question is, what has been the most valuable part of your LeTourneau experience?
I've been very valued with the opportunities we have with the materials joining lab, the different processes I've been able to do. That first semester, sophomore year, they're like, you're going to have a lab, and the lab, you're going to be in the lab for 3 hours. You're going to write lab reports. You're going to get graded on these work you do, and we're going to be intentional with what we're doing. And then how that just keeps continuing, and how we kind of learn different things about, okay, this room has a really cool microscope. Like next year, you'll learn how to use it. And you just kind of learn more about the lab and get to have those skills. Then, yeah, when you go into industry with internships, you have that background, you have those understandings.
I feel like the people are definitely, like, the people in the relationships, definitely most valuable part. I know that walking away from LeTourneau, I will have lasting connections, like you said, professional connections, and just friends that I know I can count on. And to touch on what you said before with all over the world, like, we've had the incredible opportunity to form these relationships, and that's so valuable.
The academics are so great here, rigorous, but supportive, and just a community of excellence, even in the dorm that I was able to be in. It's just a community of excellence, of pursuing your best with the classes, but also pursuing just best in life in general. LeTourneau also has been just provided so many opportunities to grow. I think back to who I was as a freshman, and I'm a totally different man now than I was when I started at LeTourneau. So I am so thankful to this university. It's been an amazing experience. Well, thanks everyone for this. I've really enjoyed this. This
was so fun.
really
It's
Yeah.
like we all know each other, right? But it's cool to see,
Yeah.
other parts of each other's stories that we didn't know.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So great.